It says we're live for 3 seconds now.
All right.
But are
It's
we?
moving so far.
But are we though?
I think we are
I'm
now.
seeing Ruthie, Myra, Helen, little Miss Tank. Whoa. Miss Devaney, HM. There's Randy Girl. Look, there's Miss Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee.
This is going to be a fun show tonight, guys.
It will be. I'm really looking forward to it. I know y'all are excited because, you know, Dagny and Kim are here. You're not really here to see Misty and I. I mean, truth be told. And we're good with that.
Yeah,
we're really good with that. So definitely welcome you guys to another week of Vintage Rescue Squad. I don't know. I guess let's go ahead and do introductions, even though I really don't feel like introductions are warranted. So I guess, Misty, we'll have you start, and then we'll go down Kim, Dagny, and we'll just go, is that clockwise? Yeah.
Sure. Well, hello, I am Misty, Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter, and I sell on YouTube and eBay.
There you go.
There you go. That's me in a nutshell.
Oh, is it my turn? Or
It's your turn.
sorry, I don't know which way we were going. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Kim from Oh My Vintage, and I've been selling vintage clothing, jewelry, and accessories for the past over 10 years on Etsy. And I also have an eBay shop and a YouTube channel, and I do YouTube live sales as well. Yeah.
I just got a reminder that the show's live.
Okay. Just in case you didn't know.
Just in case I forgot. I am Dagny. I am Flying Pig Thrifts. You might know me through Jocelyn's Crazy Lamp Lady. I sometimes am on her videos. I sell on eBay on Flying Pig Thrifts, and I've been doing about a couple years, and I've been with Jocelyn for about a year, and I do some of her listings for her.
There you go.
I have to say real quick, as I'm just sitting here and I'm looking, Dagny, you and Jocelyn could honestly be sisters.
Yeah.
That's a great compliment.
I know, but she's beautiful, but I mean, can you see it a little bit? Like, you guys do favor one another a little bit. I don't know if it's the eyes. I don't know, but I see it. I see it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the persona.
Hopefully she thinks that's a compliment.
I think she does. I think she does. Oh, did you see?
I love this name. Well, Jamie, I love your name too. Mid-Century Wasted is a fantastic name. But I also love, it's going so fast. Thrifter. Not
hoarder.
Never a hoarder. No,
Never.
We don't even know. I'm surprised you were even able to spell hoarder because clueless, right? No idea.
No.
Nope. And of course, I'm Michael with the Cult.Of.Vintage. I guess technically I am.
You are the Cult.Of.Vintage.
One and the same, folks. One and the same. And I now have a YouTube channel, which is where you're at today. And of course, I do sell on YouTube Live with Misty and Michelle every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, as a matter. Yes, that is tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me. And I do really want to say very quickly, so far as Dagny and Kim, in the description of the video, already there for you guys, Dagny's Instagram and her eBay shop are direct linked for you, and Kim's Instagram as well as her website are linked, because on Kim's website, you will actually find her Etsy, her eBay, her Instagram, her YouTube, one of the many channels that Kim appears or sells on. So everything is already there and available for you guys just to click on and give them a follow and see what they don't have in their stores for sale. All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we just start off with a bang?
Sure.
And, and you know what, you guys, everybody watching, while we're talking, please make sure that if you have questions or you have something that you would like to add to the conversation, put it in the chat, put it in caps. That way it stands out a little bit easier for me. It is moving very quickly, so I will do my best to make sure that I catch as many as I possibly can. But please, we invite you and want you to be part of the conversation and not just view the conversation. But if you just want to view it too, we're good with that. So today, Michael had a little bit of a struggle and he was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
I had a video. It is out now. So after our Vintage Rescue Squad is over, you can go check it out. It is now posted on The.Cult.Of.Vintage. It is in like ultra 4K quality. So I do hope you enjoy the picture quality. I didn't know I was recording in that, and YouTube was having a fit with trying to compress it. So it is out, and it is different. It is titled "The Truth: What It Would Really Be Like to Shop with Me." And the reason I decided to go ahead and do the video, as you will see, is it's much different from the style that I typically do. And there were a couple of different reasons. Thank you, Jamie. There were a couple of different reasons as to why I ultimately decided to do the video. And please understand that when I say this, I'm not taking anything overly personal, and I don't want to seem like I'm attacking anybody, especially people that have shown and demonstrated support to my channel, to Misty channels, to Kim's channel, to whoever's channel.
Oh, baby.
But I have 4, and they're deciding to play right under my chair.
Oh, little Shih Tzu.
That's what makes YouTube Live great. Special guests. Look at the little feet.
This is Susie.
Whoa, Susie.
Susie.
Hi, Susie.
Look at how cute.
She's so cute.
I love the darkness on the one side. Is she darker on one side than the other?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, in today, is she a Shih Tzu?
Yep.
Is she too?
Yeah, she's playing with the Pomeranian. So she loves me.
We can tell.
This isn't awkward.
See, everybody loves a dog. Who doesn't?
Oh yeah, everybody loves a puppy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, in today's video, it is going to be much different. And I guess one of the first things is that what really, for me personally, I do see a lot of comments, and I certainly understand the reasoning behind it, is that oh my gosh, I feel like I'm struggling with how I want to. I see comments, and the comments are that I leave a lot of things behind, or that I don't buy enough. And what I do talk about in the video is that a lot of times when I am shopping for resale, I don't actually film that. A lot of times the reason I don't film that is because I'm moving much faster. I'm there with a very specific purpose, and that is to find things, snatch them up, and get out of there as quickly as I can so I can move on to the next place. Now, the reason I don't film that is because I don't have the time to provide the experience or the tour that so many people have really come to enjoy, and I do appreciate that. So today, I decided, well, I'm going to show you what it would really be like if you shopped with me and I'm on a time crunch, and the video is faster, it is more shaky, it is very much more real to the experience of being, I think, somebody that is actively going out to hunt for things for resale. I have seen comments in fellow content creators where they're like, you're moving too quick, you're making me dizzy, you're making me sick. Misty is pointing at her belt. Misty is one of them. Okay, the cat's out of the bag. Misty is one of them. But I have seen it on other content creators' channels. They don't show them enough detail. You only show me what you're buying. And again, that's something that I talk about in the video because I have the luxury to take 2 and 3 hours to go ahead and shoot a video so that I can provide an experience. However, if I was doing YouTube and reselling full time, I wouldn't have the ability to spend 2 and 3 hours filming, because I would have to get to 3 or 4 places a day to be able to fulfill the amount of orders or to have the inventory, as well as shooting all of the videos.
Right.
And editing the videos.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the listing. Kim, you're taking pictures. Dagny, you're taking pictures. You're looking things up. You're taking measurements. You know, you've got to make them look just so that they're appealing to the buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget you're weighing your boxes. Do you guys pre-box your stuff for your eBay sales?
I did in the beginning, because I was like, I'm going to box everything up and everything's going to be exact. I'm never going to have any overages. And then I was like, this is stupid. So in the beginning, then I greatly overestimated my shipping,
Yeah.
and now I'm pretty good about it. So
Yeah,
you get used to it. You get used to like how much a coffee cup weighs and
what size box it's going to be in. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's a good idea to prepackage. I think it's a good idea when you're first starting out to prepackage first, because it does help you learn.
I do with big items. Like I just had the black Doxy dog, and because it was longer, so on bigger items and glass items, I do prepackage it just so I know this is exact. This is the size of the box. This is how much it weighs. So and I give back. I do refunds on shipping, so everyone's going to be happy.
There you go.
Oh, New England thrifter. Now, Michael has yet to, soon Mike will be shopping with me. He has yet to experience it, but he will be soon. But I'm the same way. Like if I'm making you dizzy during a shop with me video, I will make you probably sick to your stomach in a shop with me, because I literally see something and I'm like, oh my gosh. And you know, and then, you know, sometimes you really kind of forget that you're filming. If you get really excited about something and you're holding your camera and you get really excited about it, and then you're like, oh my gosh. And then you like pan over and you kind of run to it. And then the whole time, and as you're sitting and editing, you're like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You know, but then you want to get that authentic reaction into the video, but yet it's, yes, exactly, LaDonna. It is very much that way. Yeah. So, but it really, really is. And you do forget. You forget that you have that camera. That camera ends up being an extension of yourself somewhat, but it can get in the way. Right. You know, when you're trying to look at things, you could. That's the thing. Is like when people want to say, oh, you know, I can't believe you did this, this, and this in a video. Try going thrifting or try going shopping with one hand tied behind your back, because that's a lot of times that's what it's like. You only have that one hand, because we get comments too. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're so rough with things. You're putting things down. You're just throwing things down on the shelf. But you've got one hand and you're filming, and the microphone picks up every little sound. Yeah. I cuss too much to be honest.
That definitely is something that you do have to be cognizant of. And that is, I think, Misty, that was a really interesting point that you made, because I've gotten so used to going into the videos and just turning the volume on the video completely down, so I can do the voiceover. So I'm not really listening to it, because I'm just automatically like, it doesn't matter, just turn it down, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down. Today, I actually did leave the volume up so that you can hear it. There were parts where I had to take it down because there was music playing. Yeah. But I noticed that too, is that even me just like accidentally grazing something, I'm like, oh my God, like,
yeah. Or if someone's like testing a vacuum cleaner, you know, for a long time. It can be loud.
And then there's also the screaming children and the screaming parents.
The people on their phones. There's always someone on, like, talking and having a conversation. Yeah. Or in the changing room having a conversation. Like, we can hear you.
Yeah.
It's a process, and I have to truly say that today's video, there was a bit of a freedom in it because I felt less restricted. It's like I finally got to see, how do I put this? Like I felt more like a reseller versus a YouTuber.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like today's video was me being a reseller, where everything up to this point has very much been very YouTube driven, so far as again creating an experience, and it's completely different. It is completely different, and there is a bit of a freedom when I was able to just be a reseller, and I'm going to put it on YouTube because I've asked multiple people here. Now, Dagny, I can't ask you yet. Who knows what the future holds? But Kim, I will ask you this question. Do you consider yourself a YouTuber who resells, or do you consider yourself a reseller who is on YouTube?
I consider myself as a reseller on YouTube just because it's still fresh to me with YouTube, and I understand what you're talking about with when you're filming your videos, with hearing people's conversation and screaming, babies and children and my neighbors upstairs, running across the floor. So yeah, I would definitely consider myself as a reseller versus YouTube, because it as a YouTuber, it does take time, like with like I'll put out like a 10-minute video, but in reality it took me like forever just to get through the video. Like if someone's just like, there's like a motorcycle coming by, and I haven't done any shop with me videos yet, but even just using my phone and looking at stuff, it is hard. So I understand where you guys are coming from. Just like you're trying to do two things at the same time. So.
Yeah,
isn't it funny? To me, it sounds funny. Like I just I don't feel comfortable to say about being a YouTuber. That just doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like a person of my age should be what they should. You know what I mean? It's like I'm 45 years old, and I don't. A YouTuber sounds like it's such a young thing. That's what the kids are doing, and so I consider myself foremost a reseller, moreover than a YouTuber. I make content and I sell on YouTube, but I don't know. As far as the videos go, and New England Thrifter, they said something, and I think that it's fabulous. It says, someone commented, "Why is your view narrow?" Because I'm holding my phone wrong. I didn't study filmmaking. I'm just trying to share a little bit of my journey. That is an incredible comment. And it's so true. Like I didn't go to film school. I'm not worried about the editing and I won't say the quality. I want my videos to be decent, but I don't care that they're like a cinematography production.
Right.
Because to me, I want my videos to be me and who I am. And that's why I don't really like to do voiceovers for myself, because I think that I would be boring if I did a voiceover. I'm much more
funny.
And
you would go, that's this, and why did I do? I think you would be funny in voiceover.
I remember your voiceovers, Misty.
I've done one. And the thing of it is, I can't keep up with me. Like I'm trying to do the voiceover, and like, oh, and here I'm going over. Oh no, I'm not. Now I'm going over here, and then I'm looking over that. No. So I can't even keep up with myself.
You know what, Christina, I think that I think is a fantastic and excellent point. And it's actually something that, Misty and I were talking about earlier today, is that you get caught up in the minutia or the momentum of the social media sphere. And it's like, all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, what is going on? And you lose I guess the reality or like the not the YouTuber, not being on camera, not filming stuff, not even reselling, but just the day to day, it is amazing the amount of work or hustle that goes into one being a reseller, but then two folding on top of it the social media aspect. And for a lot of you ladies, or even the gentlemen, a lot of you are parents. You have significant others, husbands, wives, partners, and you also have relationships. You have families, and the real world for anybody on this screen, or for anybody who has been on the screen, it doesn't stop. You know, people don't exist within the realm of YouTube. Like tomorrow I'm like, okay, I got to get up early because I got to do laundry. I got to clean the bathroom. I have to get the boxes ready. And then today I'm like, okay, I got to get this video done because I got to get the list. I've got everything put out. So it's like this never ending. And I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful because I love it. I really, truly do. But I think that sometimes there's, even for us, you forget how hard it can be. And then you're like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
It is. I think that it's very important, though, to have someone that you can vent to have another person with similar experiences, whether that be another content creator that you've become close to. And here's the thing. I mean, we're all content creators. We're all in this reselling community, but we're not all going to be best friends. We're not all going to be, oh, I know I love Sarah. So with Sarah and I discovered that we are long lost sisters. We've discovered this, that we are like related in some way. Anyway, Sarah, the traveling button. We're not all going to be best friends. We're not all going to like talk every single day, but I think it's very important to find people that you do have that connection with, a couple people that you can vent to and that you can trust, which is can be a hard thing to find, but I think we all need that somebody that we can turn to. Michael heard me vent this morning. I was all up in myself, and I was about to cut somebody at Starbucks that they did not have my order, because I can't tell you how many times I've gone and they've been out. But luckily, no one got cut today. I got my order.
It was a good day.
Yay!
It ended up turning around. It started off very rocky, but it ended up turning around.
Yes, Gloria. Yes, exactly. But that's the thing, I think, especially for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this. I do not want to discourage Dagny from doing this, because it is an amazing and thrilling and fun. And you read some of the comments and, you know, you don't know. And this has been a big thing that I've always tried to, even before doing YouTube, but to ensure that, you know, Misty and Jocelyn and Michelle, that everybody knows, okay, you're making a video, you're buying stuff for resale, you're showing them around an antique or a thrift store, but then you see these comments like, thank you so much, because I haven't been able to go out, I don't have these places by me. And you're providing them an experience, you're providing them entertainment, you're providing them a laugh. And there is no greater joy and no greater satisfaction than when you read those, and it puts everything else into perspective. And it's at those moments that you're like, oh, this is why I'm doing this. This is why, not necessarily the reselling part, but the sharing of it on social media. That is so powerful. And Dagny, I will tell you, it gives me chills. Like, I honest to God have chills right now. To be able to have that experience for yourself, I just, in your own time and in your own course, don't let our frustrations sway you one way or the other. It is so worth it. It is.
Like I was saying earlier before we started, that I'm going to Arkansas and to drag Jenny along with me, and just to see what other thrift stores. Like, I was so excited because we're going to Little Rock. There's a Savers, and I've seen Jeffrey shop at Savers, and I told my husband, I said, there's a Savers, and I know it might be lame or it might be really great, but it'll just be fun to like share. So I am practicing, everybody. I am practicing trying to film. Jocelyn makes it look so easy. It's so hard. So I am trying to film to practice so I can share it when I go to our.
Well, and Jocelyn is one to, and I don't want to speak for her because she's not here, but I mean, we've had these conversations where if you go back and watch her early videos, when she was just learning, I mean, they're not as, I mean, they're still not bad, but I mean, her videos, she's learned the angles and she's learned her speed and she's learned over time how to do it. And I think that everybody, and we've said this before, everybody has that first video, you know.
I can practice there.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Road trip.
My first savers was with Jeffrey when he bought the balls, the infamous bag balls.
No, the bag of balls.
Balls came out. That was a memorable savers trip. But there's Jocelyn. There she is. But you know, I think everyone has that first video, and it's nerve wracking. But again, I mean, the comparison is the thief of joy, and you can't compare yourself to anybody else. You just have to be who you are, and you are lovely. And I think that you will do a fine job.
Thank you.
Speak to the devil.
We're encouraging her, Jocelyn. Not that we're pushing her or anything like that, but we're just encouraging. Just encouraging, not, you know. We're doing like Jocelyn and Misty did to me. That's all.
Right. Okay. And now look at you.
That's what I'm saying. See, and that's the thing. You just, I don't know. And I do want to say this too, because now that she's here, it reminded me. And because of the point that Misty just made about going back to earlier videos, is that I do want to make sure, because I would be really upset with myself if I didn't say this. If you guys have questions on, it's going to take some time, but if you have questions on how to be a reseller and you're really curious as to how Misty got to where she is today, and if you're curious as to how Jocelyn got here today, if you're curious about how any of your YouTube vintage resellers or just YouTubers got where they are today, it's all right there and available for you. All you have to do is go back into their video catalog and start from the beginning. And I would encourage you not just to watch the video, but to listen to the things that they have to say, because they have continuously, over the course of years, given out free information to you that they obviously know what they're doing. So I really would encourage you to do that. So if you have questions, bust out the pen and paper and take down the notes.
I have to tell you, it is very nice. I love when I go in and I look at comments from people that have watched some of the older videos, because at first you look at that comment and you're like, what are they talking about? And then you look at the thumbnail of what video they're referring to and you're like, oh my gosh, that's like 3 years old. But it's so interesting. And you know, I don't like to watch my videos because I've edited them and I'm sick of seeing everything in them. But I kind of think it'd be interesting to go back and watch some of your first videos. You know, I mean, I don't know. Just go back. You can go into someone's YouTube channel and look under. You can search like dates, like the earliest. I think there's a way that you can toggle all that. But how do I make myself look thinner on video? Chris, I can tell you that I would be doing that myself. When you turn to the side, I've noticed when you're editing and you're like straight on, it's okay. But then you notice when you turn to the side and you're like, oh, look, ooh. Don't ever turn to the side. Always look straight on.
Hey, Kim, we'll just reiterate, Kim, how long have you been reselling?
I've been selling over like 10 plus years, because like when I first started, I was doing it on the side, like while doing like my regular like day job. But now I do this full time. So yeah.
Oh, it's so great to be able to make that jump. It's very nerve wracking though, but it's such a good feeling to take that leap.
Yeah,
scary, but it's good.
Definitely is.
Oh yes, if you pull the camera up and look down, but then you can only see yourself and you can't see anything else.
But you look.
It does work.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Never lean over the camera.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Never. Once you hit a certain age, you cannot, for nothing, lean over the camera.
No, and you'll find things about your body that you really hate. You're like, oh,
That
I'm
is
going to
such
cut
a
that
good
out because it's
freeze.
showing too much my jiggly arm.
Missy, you
Am I
froze at
frozen?
the
You were
perfect
frozen for a
spot.
second. But it was
No, you
really
did, but it was she was like,
Well, I mean, I don't want to see my jiggly arms, and nobody else wants to see them either.
mhm. So again, you guys, just to clarify, I know that there's a lot of new people in the chat, but in the description of the video, Dagny's Instagram page and her eBay website have been direct links. So it's all you have to do is click on the link if you want to check out either and give both a follow. And Kim's Instagram page, as well as her website, where you will find additional links to her Etsy, her eBay, and her YouTube are all in the description box for you. So it makes it really easy for you guys to give them a follow, check out all of the stuff that they have for sale. And I'm totally missing the chat, but okay. Dagny, I do have a question. How long have you been reselling?
how long have I been reselling? I would say like almost 3 years.
Okay. And are
I
you
would,
exclusive to eBay or?
I would say 2 years exclusive to eBay because I started out and then just around the house, like what do we have that we can sell? And then I was a teacher at the time, and then
sister.
So I retired from teaching and started homeschooling Jenny, and then it kind of became more like I think I can do this. And then I knew I had good stuff. I just wish like someone could like peek open the door, and I always tell Jocelyn she helped me, spread that door. So I think I would say like 2 years, really exclusively on eBay.
I think that that's an interesting thing that you just said, because I'm just going to do it because, you all say you like Michael's honesty, so here we go. One of the things that, I was curious about was specifically the idea or the concept of what we were talking about earlier was a comparison amongst individual businesses, resellers, YouTubers, and how they choose to shoot their videos, I guess, what they buy, how much they spend on things. And there is an equivalence, I think, a lot of times that somehow that the playing field is even across. And I think that gets lost sometimes because, and this is what we were talking about, and I was curious because I asked, Dagny and Kim, I was like, well, for me, I'm kind of like a just in case or a just in time kind of thing, where in other words, I buy for that week, the week before. So I don't sit on inventory, but I'm only selling 30 items a week. So I don't have to do that. Whereas if you were Misty or Jocelyn, because they're pumping out 30 to 40 to 60 to 80 to 90, 100 items, you're having to buy a lot more. But people don't, it's kind of like they think, well, you're a reseller, but there's a difference between what works for one doesn't necessarily work for all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Misty, I think we understand where Misty is, but like Dagny and Kim, where do you guys think that you fall within that spectrum of? Oh my geez. Well, hello again, Cindy. Double hi, lady. How are you? I mean, where do you guys feel that you fall in that spectrum of, are you buying a lot? Are you buying a little? You're somewhere like in between. And like, if you would like, you don't have to, you can say no, and nobody in the comments will judge you. But how many items about a week are you guys selling?
Okay. Kim, you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I usually try to buy as much as I can because I go everywhere, not just estate sales, like also thrift stores and antique malls as well too. Because I know you can find good prices there as well. But I usually just try to find places and hoping that I can just get as much as I can at least, just so that I don't have to go every weekend. But I mean, sometimes it'll be like a dud if I go somewhere and you're just looking for hours, or sometimes, people get there before my husband and I. And, someone even, we spent hours at an estate sale, and we were talking to the lady, and she obviously knew who we were already. We made a pile, and we spent like 3 hours, and then someone ended up uh, pretending that pile was theirs.
Wow.
And then my husband Patrick, got to oh. The story.
Dagny, you're making us dizzy. Jeez, woman.
A preview.
Okay.
So my husband Patrick was saying like who took our stuff, and that's like 3 hours, like half of the stuff that we found. So we usually try to go we try to do it like every other weekend, but depending like what we get, I'll be like, okay, this will be good for at least like 2 weeks for like my YouTube live sales, because the other things I can put on my Etsy or eBay. So it really just depends, what we find, before anyone else gets to it, and not steal our stuff.
Poachers.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yvonne.
But yeah, I definitely try to. I mean, I've been going like weekly, like every weekend, but I try to do it at least like every other week, just so we can have a breather in between, so I'm not constantly like going every single weekend. And so I try to buy in bulk. So that's our strategy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not what I do.
I was going to say, I can't not go every weekend.
I go well, there's a Goodwill right by my post office, and I ship Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and I go to the Goodwill. And I thought, Michael, you said one time that you frequent, so then like quickly, like what's in there and what's out. And so I go to the one Goodwill Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then of course go with Jocelyn, and then I'll go to other places. So I started keeping track of my mileage, and all the mileage is like post office, Goodwill, post office, Goodwill. So, and I sell like, I'd say 20 to 30 items a week. And so this, earlier in the week, I was on a retreat. And so I came back and I had 21 items to ship. So that was exciting. But then like I only had 6 from this weekend. So it, it comes and goes, but I do buy and sit on, like, I do have things that are on videos with Jocelyn. Some things I know that people might like, or I read the comments like, oh, when are you going to put that up? So I've learned that. I'll put those for auction, but I usually do, or best offer, and I will move it along. Like if it's within reason, like I'm not giving it away, but I know how much I paid for it. If it's reasonable, enjoy it, have fun with it. So.
Oh, now what the future will hold.
We don't
one step at a time. One step at a time.
You never know.
We're doing this. We're doing this. This is exciting.
That's right. One step at a time.
I tell you what, when you get into a swing of like the shipping and stuff, it really, you can handle a live sale. You really can. It just takes getting into a routine and getting, like, I know on Thursdays, I limit my phone usage. I like put my phone away. I will check it periodically, because you got to have like, I call it a smoke break. I don't smoke, but you got to have your smoke breaks, every once in a while. Hey, George.
Hi.
But I think that you have to like just have in a zone, and I don't know. I think I enjoy Thursday so much because I don't have any plans for Thursday other than shipping. Like I'm not going live. I'm not recording a video. I go with no makeup on and just get there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I usually don't leave until about 5 or 6, but I get it all done.
And you inspired me, Misty, because your shipping videos. so I tend to overpack, which I think is a good thing. I had a customer in Colorado say they live like high on a mountain and switchbacks, and the driver is really rough. And they said, could you pack it like monkeys are having a party? So
You
every
have to.
item, I remember, like, I'm going to pack it like monkeys are having a party. And so
these monkeys are having a good old time in this package.
So watching your videos and how you have like done the packing, and I even do my tissue. I don't do all the bows and stuff, but I do enjoy packing. But I love hearing. See, I have a whole pile right over here.
Yeah, it isn't something that you have to do, absolutely, but it just makes it fun. It just makes it, yeah, like I'll change my tissue paper up from week to week. And listen, my husband thinks that it's ridiculous. He's like, people are just going to throw it away, but it makes me happy. And I know that it makes my customers, like when they open it and they see something inside, it's like they bought themselves a little present. And it's like the whole experience that I want to give to my customers. I want them to know that they're going to get their item within a couple of days, because I ship I shouldn't say I ship next day, because I have sales Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I ship Thursdays. And I like it with eBay too. I have 1 day shipping on my eBay store. Let me tell you, if somebody tried to take something out of my Goodwill cart, let me just say that there would be a different kind of video that might come out on YouTube for that. Because who would not have their own map?
That's going to be Misty's. This is what it's really like to shop
that
with me.
Listen, I am a very pleasant person, but if someone tries to poach something from me, I'm not going to let them have it. I will tell them how I feel right then, and they're going to get a speaking to. They're going to get a piece of my mind, darn it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, just because we have Goodwill fit, folks, remember, we don't check our manners at the door. You're still in public.
Right.
No matter where you are.
When you go to the Goodwill bins and you look in that bin before they tell you to look, they will yell at you.
You got to keep them in line. Hey,
it's prison yard rules at the bins. It is prison yard rules. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, do you guys ever? I mean, I guess the question is that do you? I don't know. I think that the how do I? Do you ever feel? I don't, boy, they're like difficult conversations, and you don't want to have the words come out wrong. But do you ever, again, there have been comments made about, well, why aren't you buying this, or why aren't you buying that? I mean,
or you missed this, or you didn't see that.
Right. And sometimes it's not even a question of that you missed it, but it's like a question of, I just don't want to sell that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't excite me. And do you know what I mean? Like,
well, you put it very eloquently in your videos, I think, when you're like, I just wasn't feeling it today. And sometimes that's it. When you're shopping, you're just like, what you may buy on a Saturday may be totally different than the mood that you're in on Sunday. And you're just not feeling it that day. And that's okay. I think that you need to go with your gut. I think that's an important instinct to listen to.
Yeah.
You cannot buy everything that you see. And that's, I think, at the end of the day. Because just as, let's see if I can find it. Remember, we are, darn it, where's it at? I'm not going to find it. Well, I'll remind you.
You keep talking. I'll see if I can find it.
You know exactly what I'm going for. Because we are thrifters, not hoarders. Remember, we are thrifters, not hoarders. I was going to highlight.
Oh, okay.
We try not to be hoarders. We try not to be hoarders. That's the point of it. The point of it is to resell the things. And I think that like a lot of it is like that's how the death piles begin, is because you see something and you're like, oh no, there's value in that and I can make it. But then you go shopping again and then that thing gets bumped down the list because you're like, oh no, I like this thing better, and there's even more, and I think that there's more desirability in this, and then that thing that you bought last week gets, there it is, That's right.
Yeah.
And it keeps getting bumped back. It's like replaced. It's this vicious cycle that you have to be extraordinarily just.
I'm joking. That's what I saw too. And I was like, maybe 4 carts or 5, 7.
Seven. I think 7. 7 carts definitely will do it for you.
I saw a lady today. I sent a picture to Jocelyn, and this lady had 2 carts. Well, there were just 2 carts and a bookcase. And my Goodwill they use the big blue things. And so I was like, I wonder if they ran out of the blue cart. But I wasn't going to go dig through this thing. And twice a lady had to come up. She'd be like, that's my stuff. And I was like, well, you need to roll those carts to the checkout because people are digging through your stuff. So, but
I mean, that's just being a little ridiculous, I think.
that is like
And the backup backpack.
Jocelyn always says there's always enough for everybody. And I've gone into the Goodwill and you're scanning and you go down. And I remember a lady quickly went down the blue aisle and she picked up a piece of Murano. And I was like, but I found an owl. But I was like, well, she found that. I found this owl. So you get, for a second, you're like, oh, I wish I had that. But then there's going to be something else around the next corner and it's going to be fun. So.
I just think that you're just being a little selfish, quite frankly.
If you have to take another cart, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's
a better look for you if you go to your cart, pay for that stuff, empty out that cart, and then come back and get one more cart. But when you're having 5 of them all lined up there, and that's what happens at the bins too. And they have started doing away with that. They have started saying, like, if you have more than 1 cart, like I've only been at the bins once in a year, but I mean, I noticed when I was in there that they said if they won't let you like cover up your carts anymore. They will come and take your cart away from you if you have more than 1 cart.
Wow.
Because people would go in like through the shoes and they would just like pick up all the shoes and put it in a cart and then they would go through.
Oh.
Okay.
So they're just snatching it all up. And then and that's the thing, like some people's minds don't even think like that. Like, why in the world would you do? And that's just, but I guess for some people, that's just how they operate.
Well, like the people that stole Kim's stuff. Like that's terrible. That's terrible. And I hope it was full of stains.
I know.
Yeah.
When we were driving.
All broke on their way home. They hit a bunch of bumps.
Yeah, when we were driving home, Patrick and I were just venting and fuming. And Patrick said, I hope everything shatters when he gets out of the car.
Right?
They hit a pothole and bam!
Right.
Yeah, it was so many great things. There's like really pretty glass items, just stuff I've never gotten before. And I was this close to not even wanting to buy like the rest of the pile that was there. And it's like, I want to remember what estate sale company this is, because like you have one job, lady. You're just sitting there, and like Patrick was like the only guy wearing like it was, I don't know what colored hat he was wearing. I'm like, you know who he is? Like you're just sitting there. You're not even going anywhere. But so not from now on, whenever we go to estate sales, we always say, can we start a pile and can we put it like under something so you know what it is? Because some people they really don't care.
They don't.
There
is very much, I think, ethics, I guess, behind it, and I don't know what I'm looking for, a certain word, but I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. But
manners.
Well,
Just manners. I mean, really, folks, come on.
Yeah, Wish on Bish said those are the people that were buying up all the toilet paper, and then they would go and sell it.
Oh yeah. My gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Sense of fair play. I mean, it is. I mean, it isn't a good look. It really isn't. It isn't a good look for you to go in and be like, I'm going to buy all the things today. Nobody's going to get a chance because I am here.
Yeah.
It's not a good look.
Well,
sense of entitlement. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got the nail on the head. Congratulations, camping kid. Gold star. Yeah, I just
I love Jamie's idea. I'm going to print photos of my face and tape them all over the box.
I don't think some people would care.
And then Michael's going to do this.
I'm a bust out the elbows. Look, do it. I will get the look on my face like I'm gonna rip your face off right now. Come on.
Misty,
now, Jamie, you need to have a look like.
Misty, you could use your stickers, your Thrifter Jugger Vintage Hunter.
Yeah, this is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to the bins. I don't know if that's really my scene.
No, Michael's a germaphobe. Michael would not.
I couldn't.
You hate it.
I'd have like a dish, the rubber dish things on, and then I would duct tape them.
Yeah, he would wear a hazmat suit.
Oh yeah,
oxygen
mask, and then like maybe a t-shirt wrapped up. Like I'm thinking like the practical, what I would probably really do: long sleeve t-shirt, mask, the rubber gloves, duct tape, and then I would throw it all out immediately.
No, I wait. Like I let all the dogs go feeding first, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go pick what all you fools didn't get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And really, that's when I have found really good stuff. That's where I found that pink Pyrex casserole dish. Mm-hmm. After the dogs went digging, nobody wanted it. No. And you let them have their fun, and then you can go in and pick up their sloppy seconds, and I'm okay with that.
Right. Yeah. I've gotten bless our pad embroidery in the bin that was just sitting there, and I got a Stetson hat and a Halloween tin that was worth something. I was like, that's cute, and it because everyone had picked over it, and it was just sitting there.
Yeah, you let them dogs do their digging first.
Right.
I'll do it. You know what? That kind of probably would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Michael, I will buy you a GoPro and I will send it to your house. Please, baby Jesus, please let him wear it to the bins.
And then all you do is
it's so bad.
There's all that video is going to be like beep 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 beep.
And then he will come to the car and he will send me a Marco Polo. Oh my beep 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 beep. Or he would be calling me because I'd have to bail him out of jail because he's just
local man.
Right? Oh my gosh.
And Jamie, I want to see you and Blake at the bins too. So that same thing goes for you, Jamie. You and Blake at the bins.
Should we? We'll start a new, like, what do you call that when you like tag each other in YouTube? Like first times. Like it has to be like first times, like first time at the bins. And then it doesn't you make like a playlist somehow or something?
I was saying, I was going to say something, but it's probably kind of dirty, so I probably should.
I'll go ahead.
Vinny, what happens when you experience something for the first time? Vinny, are you still here? We'll let Vinny say it.
Oh, you pop your cherry?
Yeah.
Oh, please. We're all adults. Most of us are, at least. In theory.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I kind of Dagny Kim, have you guys been to the bins?
I don't have any bins near me. So like when I started watching more Shop With Me videos, I'm like, what is that? I'm like, I've never seen that before. And and the Goodwills that I go to, I never really find anything to begin with. So, I mean, if I ever find the bins, I'll definitely let you guys know. Like, I'll probably try to do a video, and I'll definitely be wearing just like Michael, like, because I'm like germaphobe too. And I always wear my gloves whenever I go to state sales. Yeah. And I always get like one or two people that come up to me like, oh, you're wearing gloves. That's a good idea. I'm like, yeah, this house is only like collected over 60 years of stuff that has like dust everywhere.
I'll be right back, you guys. Hold on.
Kim, what state are you in?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The bins used to be so much better than what they are now. They're just not. as with Goodwill in general. You know what I mean? It's the bins are it's very much the same at you're gonna waste most of your day, honestly. I think that they Jocelyn, they found medical needles. Yeah, there were some hypodermic needles in one of the bins, as well as sexual toys in the bin.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, what did they come back to?
Yikes.
Things that you find in the bins.
And that's why I spent my Saturday night now.
Dagny, wait, what?
No, I always put one glove in the car because there's one in Lancaster next to the Goodwill that we've taken you to, Michael. And then there's one next to the magical Goodwill in Avondale, which
Mike's like, hey, they sell.
So
Listen, I know that the staff probably at the Goodwill outlet probably saw those come in at a donation and they're like, let's sit back and watch.
No, I don't think mittens will work. No, Jamie.
No.
No.
Would be the opposite.
I have rubbery gloves. Not rubber gloves, but like, what are they called? Garden gloves.
Garden gloves, yeah.
It doesn't sound very safe either, but.
Does that prevent you from getting pierced though, too, right? Because they're meant to like
stone
and thorns.
Thorns, yeah.
It's
always helpful too to find like a golf club or something. Oh, I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me try to fix it.
56 minutes, 19 seconds, folks.
There you are.
I'm back. Joni, every bins is different. I think it was $1.29 a pound when we went last.
Really?
Ours is by weight, but when I found the embroidery, she charged me $1.99. So I think like the big overpriced pieces, they have a set price, and they have a set price for books and stuff. So.
Yeah, I hate that when they would say, like you'd have all these books at the bottom, and then you're like, oh, you need to bring all the books out. And I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. So there's a lot of rules with it. But see, I thought that there was, I don't know, because I used to watch Goodwill Bins videos, but it seemed like because there were YouTubers that did solely Bins videos, but was there like, do they let you record in them now, or was there? It seemed like, I mean, it was a little bit ago where I felt like they weren't allowing people to record in the bins anymore. Because you don't really see them that much, like those videos much anymore.
I don't know. I mean, when I recorded, I was waiting for the bin change out. So I was just like, waiting on the bins change out. So I don't know. Goodwill doesn't really want you filming in their stores. I mean, you really should ask permission, and you need to ask like the manager, and sometimes they have to check with the regional manager, and then they'll say, don't film faces because they have a lot of employees with special needs in there, and then you don't want to violate their rights. And I think that is another really important thing if you're creating content, is to ask permission before you film. If someplace tells you they do not want you to film there, you do not film there. Because not only does it look bad upon you, but you're putting this whole reselling community at risk for that to trickle down, for them to say, oh no, you can't film here. Oh, well, this happened there, so you can't film there. So it's disrespectful, again, to do that if you don't ask permission, and they specifically tell you no, and you continue to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. You just don't do that. I mean, and that's the thing though too, is that I think, there is a place that I frequent that will not be named. I won't name it.
I know where it is. Dagny knows where it is.
But, they've made it very clear that they do not want people to film in there. And I honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, I asked and I was like, but why? Now, keep in mind, this was at the one near me. So I wanted to kind of hear what
they say.
They would say in response versus what maybe a different one to the south of me might say. And they said a lot of it was because of individual rights, the employees, people maybe that maybe in the store that have maybe some legal issues going on that they don't want to necessarily be seen or shown on YouTube. And the scary thing is some people don't want to, they don't want people to readily be able to identify in an area where they are. So if you were like, yeah, I'm in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania today, and here I am at this store, and then there's this person right behind me, they're like, I found you. You know, and that sounds crazy, but
well, you think about domestic violence, like domestic violence victims and stuff too, that try to get away from their, you know, their abuser. I mean, you just never know. You just never know. And we don't always think about these things sometimes. So I think that it's a very important thing when you go and film to try your best not to film faces. Sometimes it happens, but it's always a good idea to not.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what
Randy said cheaters.
What the, geez, Randy. Geez. We can talk about it later, girl. It's okay. But at the end of the day, it's their business, it's their store, it's their rules. And you just, again, just like shopping at an estate sale or shopping at Goodwill, mind the manners. You know what I'm saying? It's not good to do with as you see fit. So that is just always something to remember. Yeah, I haven't figured out, Danny, how to blur. I know that that's a new feature on YouTube, but it allows you now to blur individuals. And I'm like,
you can do it in your editing software too, but I've tried to do it and then I've done it like on the wrong thing and then I can't get it off. I'm like, I'm not even going to do it.
That one thing, yeah.
Oh, yes. Did you see Jocelyn's comment?
Yes. I mean, we can put it up there. I mean, yes, it is. Community Aid has a no filming policy.
Right on the door.
That policy still stands today. I will be right back, guys. Sorry.
Well, he's a busy man tonight.
I know.
Busy man. I had seen, let's see me roll up. I think I had seen, Atramon too said, which is Atromundos, because I've been saying his name wrong this entire time. And I can't highlight his comment, but it can also make the customers feel very uneasy too. So, I mean, you have to think about the other people that are in the store as well. You know, because you get those looks when you're filming and people are like, what the heck is she doing over there?
Before I met
Jocelyn, she is the news lady.
Before I met Jocelyn, whenever I would see anyone like with a video, I was always like, Jenny, avert your eyes. And so it was funny, like how from here and like almost a year ago, and I was like, look, it's my hand. Look, my fingernails are in her video. And then it actually was helpful that we had to wear masks, because then when she would film and like catch my face, it was just like, hi. And now here I am. So, but most people don't like that. And especially in Lancaster County, we have Mennonite and Amish and just regular folks who don't want to be filmed, even in passing. So,
Yeah. It's not all about you. I guess that's a good thing to, it's not all about you. You have to think, you have to consider of your community. Diana was wanting to know how we find Dagny on eBay. Michael is so nice to link her eBay store and as well as Kim's down in the description. So you can find it there and go right there to it.
Just click, and I even made sure that they worked.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, good.
Michael.
I made sure that they worked for y'all. I have a tendency to get like the days wrong, so I'm like, I've been pretty good, knock on wood, about getting the links right on the first try. So there is that.
Everyone said, Deanna says, Dagny, you're so hilarious in the videos.
She's hilarious in real life too.
Everyone wishes they had Dagny.
Yeah, today I actually, and I didn't even notice it because I was actually filming myself, which I've never done before. And there were people behind me and I caught their reaction to seeing me record myself. And I did. I left it in because they were like, it's in a local college. So I was just like, I'm totally leaving that reaction in because it was so, they were like, what is he doing? It was hilarious.
I mean, a lot of people are asking about your name. They want to know about your name.
I got a new name, Dagny. So
Dagny.
It might be when the person's in the middle. I don't know. I haven't decided.
Like the drag race?
It was spelled Dragny. So they didn't put an E in it, so that was exciting. But my name is from a book called Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. She wrote The Fountainhead, and it's about a railroad magnet. I have not read it because it's like that big. My mom read it when she was pregnant with me, and my dad worked for Southern Pacific, which is a railroad in California. And so the character name is Dagny Taggart. And so my name is Dagny Ann from Dagny and then Ayn Rand. I used to be really sarcastic. Well, I still am, but when people say Dagny, what's that short for? And then I would say, Dagny. You do know her. You do know her.
Yeah, Dagmar is pretty cool. But I think that Dragmar might be pretty cool too.
Dragmar.
Your alter ego. Hello, I'm Dragmar. I can see it like Saturday Night Live, like do you want to pet my monkey?
I watched, what is it called? Saturday Night Live.
What? You haven't, that's a classic 1990s, 1980s, 1990s.
I think the only time that I ever really enjoyed was like the original like 3 seasons, and then everything after that, I'm like, no.
Now I'm not a real big fan of the current, but the 80s and the 90s, it's the best.
They haven't moved.
Sprockets. And they do their little dance.
Well, I mean, that is an interesting point, though, Zeno. I mean,
I was getting a little carried away.
I mean, okay. But I mean, I think Zeno does have an interesting point to be made. And I think it's an interesting point because even if it's not an individual that's recording you in today's society, you're being recorded left, right, front, and center.
Yeah.
With or without your consent, it is happening. And I don't know. I think that when you are out filming, and again, that was something that I learned today, is that it is much more difficult, especially when you're moving faster, to avoid capturing people. I don't know. I don't, even though I'm doing YouTube, I don't know if I would appreciate or feel respected if somebody that I didn't know was actively recording me, because it would almost seem like there was a disregard for my personal self or space, even though I'm in a public space, if that makes sense. Though I do think that you have a valid point, Zeno.
I think that's all in perspective too. I mean, I think that if you're getting someone in passing and it's like a real quick thing, but if you're trying to focus on, it's like you're trying to focus on this glass and there's someone standing right there, I think that and you're getting their face in it, though, like maybe they're just standing next to you wondering what the heck it is you're doing. They're like staring into your camera. I mean, I don't think that'd be footage that you'd even want to use, and you'd probably edit that out. But I mean, I think it's respectful to try to avoid as much as possible filming somebody without their consent. I just think that it's a respectful thing to do.
Yeah.
But you can't always, I mean, sometimes if you find something that's pretty epic and that person's in your way, you can push them out of the way if you want, but I mean, you gotta get that thing in there somehow. You gotta get what you're wanting to show.
But okay, well, okay, Miss Delphina, let's find out. Let's all find out.
Well, Delphina, I sell vintage clothing, jewelry, and accessories on my Etsy shop, and on my eBay shop, I sell more like vintage home decor, a little bit of everything, like ephemera, and vintage figurines and collectibles, and also on my YouTube live sales. So I sell a little bit of everything. So from wearing stuff to decorating your home.
Nice.
And she's always very supportive in the reselling community. You always see her at sales. You always see her commenting on videos. So she's She's a good one. She is.
Oh, thank you, Misty.
And everybody loves the pictures behind you too.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah, it's my gallery wall. I have yet to do a video on it, so.
Mine is not that organized. Like yours is very symmetrical. Mine's just kind of like, okay, right here, okay, right there.
Yeah, here, I'll lift it up a little bit. It took me some time. It goes
Oh,
all
look
the way.
at you.
It goes
It
all
almost
the
looks like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
way here. Yeah, so it goes all the way up there, and I had to lay it out on the floor first, and then.
Oh, that would make sense.
So yes, I'm just standing on my bench here.
Oh, she's even got a little baby down there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right here.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Kim.
Thank you. I know I posted it on Instagram one day. It's still getting like so many likes. Like I posted like last year or something. I'm like, this is from like October, whatever. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I spent a lot of time just spacing it all out. I even like traced the each painting, so I like put it where I had to hang it because it just bothers me if it's like not if it's not
It's not a certain way.
if it's not hung right. So yeah.
It's beautiful.
There you go.
So you have a thing for the florals.
Yes.
And she likes her little swans and her sweet little things.
All the fancy things.
Yeah. Whenever I see a cute little pink swan, I always can see Kim like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. You can hear her little voice.
I know. When I opened your mystery box, Misty, I was like, oh my God, she like just knows.
Yeah, I tried my best.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you ladies find that you are like, do you gravitate towards an aesthetic, or are you just like, I think that will sell?
I like anything that's made in Japan, and wall planters, and I like swans too. Yeah. I like the pink swans. So anything, if I flip it over and it says Japan, I'm like, yes, get in the cart. So I do and I like Michael and Misty, the kitschy stuff, like the weird stuff. But then I also like the pottery, and then someone's making me like glass. So
some crazy lady like lamps.
Someone's making everybody like glass.
I know.
Which hey, I appreciate that about that some lady, because
it's like her and somebody's like the fairy lamp thing. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Yeah.
This stuff just happens.
Well, it's cool stuff.
I know, but it's so cute. Like the cute little things that they used to have, and just it's so cute. I like that. And
I gravitate towards things that I like, but also just stuff that are unique, and I know that people also like to collect. Because I mean, sometimes, even when I'm looking with Patrick, he'll say, "Look at this." I'm like, I don't really know, it's not necessarily my style, but he just always says, "This is really unique." He'll search for me and say, "You don't see this on eBay." That's for John. He's like, he's behind the scenes trying to get something.
Isn't it lovely to have a partner in life that just helps you, helps you find those things and gets excited about it too with you?
Yeah, I just love, because he knows my style. Okay, he really wants me to show something that I'm gonna be on my YouTube live sale tomorrow, but he really so something like this, he kept egging me on to get it. And I was like, what is that? Because I've never seen it before. So it looks like it's a phone, and I was like, that's the smallest phone I've ever seen, but it actually opens it's like a secret stash box. So
Patrick, you did good, sir.
I was like, hello.
He's going,
that is so neat.
Yeah.
That is such an 80s vibe to it though too.
Geometric lines.
Good. Yes. And I like the black and the gray of it all too.
He's doing he's so proud of himself going like this.
That's actually a really good question. And I think
Mm-hmm. I do that.
Yeah.
If people message you, I bet they do that. Like, can you keep an eye out for this? And if you ever see one of these. So I do, like, wouldn't buy things with chickens on it, but I sold a chicken napkin ring or napkin holder this evening. But it was cute. I wouldn't want it, but I knew someone would like it. So
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of having live sales, and like when I go out, Randy, I sometimes am like, I bet I know who would like that. Or there are several people that would like that. I mean, so it's nice being in this community and having the live sales and kind of knowing who your customer base is. It really does help being able to go out and source. And I'm buying things that I would have never bought for my brick and mortar when I was open. And like linens and things like that I couldn't give them away in my brick and mortar. And now people really, really are liking the linens and the glass and things like that, you know, I really couldn't sell in my brick and mortar. But I think getting to know who your customer base is, and that can go as far as eBay too. Just look at the things that you are actively selling on eBay, and you can brand yourself as an eBay seller and have a specific aesthetic to, you know, get people to come to your store.
So what do you say, pardon me, what do you say to people? I mean, do you, and I feel like we've talked about this before maybe, but so far as like new resellers, like is that kind of like the thing? Because we say, well, buy what you love, because if it doesn't sell, then you're kind of stuck with it. So, but is that the thing? Because you kind of like have to straddle that line. It's like you have to like it or feel it, I guess. You got to be in the mood for it. But at the same time, it's like I like the stuff that I buy, but I wouldn't necessarily, it doesn't fit my aesthetic or it doesn't go into my collection per se. So it's like one of those 50-50 kind of things for me.
But I think if you go with your gut, just like what Patrick did, Patrick knew, he went with his gut, and something was telling him this is really cool. And Kim was like, I don't know. So it was kind of going against her grain, but Patrick was like, I feel it in my gut. But Michael, you shop like that though. I mean, you shop with your gut. You know what I mean? So I think it's important to, if you've got that little voice in your head that's like, or you know what, maybe, you know. So I think that going with that little voice in your head.
Well, this just popped a question into my head, and I think, you know, Misty and Kim, you're going to better be able to answer it. But do you, okay, let's exclude Poshmark for Kim, but for like your Etsy and your eBay, do you buy different items for those? And then Misty, well, I know the answer to this one for Misty, but are you buying different stuff for your live sales versus eBay?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same for me too. I mean, because on my Etsy shop, I mainly sell just my clothing and accessories there. And then, but when it comes to eBay and the live sales, I'm the same way too. I'll find something that I won't necessarily show on my live sales just because I know who's watching. Like, okay, I don't think anyone would like this, and you know, I place that on eBay. So I just like what Misty said. Like, I go with my gut feeling where I think like where it fits best.
I think that's the other thing though too, you know, it's always that conundrum. Like sometimes you go with your gut and sometimes you like something a little too much.
But you also have to go with the mindset that everything has a price.
Right.
That is true.
I will sell something off of my wall if someone wants to buy it, and because let's be honest, we're out looking for stuff every weekend or every week. We're out finding, so something else can replace something that's hanging on my wall. I don't think Kim wants to sell her something that's hanging on her wall right now.
No.
But I'm just saying that, you know, I think that everything should, you can't be that connected to everything. You should be able to sell it.
That's an interesting question, Soup Beans. I mean, what if there's not that gut instinct? What if there's that just that horrible indecisiveness because you're so nervous about making the wrong choice, what would you guys say you would focus on? Are there safe bets? Do you think that there are safe bets?
Well, I guess it depends on what, if you're talking about eBay. I mean,
Right.
eBay is a world market. eBay is the king of being able to sell something online. And I think that it's important to have social media platforms to advertise those eBay listings. You don't have to be a YouTuber to advertise your items for sale on Instagram, on Facebook. And I agree with Karen. Focus on what you like. Focus on what you like. Learn everything about that thing. If you like Holt Howard, research Holt Howard. Know what to look for as far as the fakes or the most valuable ones, and just kind of start in a niche there.
Oh, Julie finally made it. She's so excited. Hello, Julie.
Yeah.
Yvonne's saying start with stuff in your own house.
Yeah. I did. I started with stuff in my own house, and then it was like toys Jenny didn't want, and then fabric. My mom was getting rid of a lot of her fabric. She's a sewer, so that was easy to ship. And then I told my husband, I'm only going to sell things that are soft and can fit in an envelope. Now, so then it didn't. Then you just get you gravitate towards what you like, and then started watching Jeffrey's videos, and then Jocelyn's videos, and Misty's videos, and then well, that is cute. And then I like when you bring something home, like the thing Kim showed us. Then you get to like research and learn about like what is that, and what other things did they make. That's what I like about it. And then you just kind of figure out, well, I kind of do this. So when Jocelyn and I are together, yes, we like the same things, but we're never like punching each other out looking for the same, because she likes some things and I like other things, and we both like other stuff together. So
yeah,
I think starting out, maybe stuff that you like, so you're comfortable with describing it, selling it, shipping it, and then broadening your prices.
Oh, see, now I'm digging the questions. You guys the juices are flowing. Now we're getting the questions. I'm here for it, guys. Let's keep them coming.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a really good question.
Do you
guys, do you have limits, or mine is glass? I will buy a chipped or cracked piece of ceramic or pottery, but for whatever reason, if it's glass, I won't buy it knowingly. I won't buy it if it's. I don't know why that is.
I mean, when it comes to the glass items, if it's a really big chip or crack, I definitely won't get it. Like it breaks my heart too to see it. Like I saw a whole set. It was a cruet set that was made out of Vaseline glass, but everything was like chip. It really looked like it like fell down the stairs or something. If I get like a stack of plates or something, I know I can, at least I can get like a set price, and they might have like very minor flea bites that doesn't make me bleed or anything. Like I don't mind that, but if it's really chippy, I don't even bother. I just leave it to the side.
It depends. And like if it is a piece of really kitschy, like Holt Howard, or a lot of times the Month Angels and stuff, if I'm selling it on a live sale, and I can show and talk about and visually talk about the damage, where it's at, and explain it using my voice and not necessarily what I'm typing out. It just depends on what it is. I'm probably going to be frozen here in a second. Maybe
dying.
It all just depends on what it is, honestly. Yeah. Some damage I'm okay with.
What about you, Dagny? Do you have like a line, or are you just like not at all?
I think, no, I will sell things with chips, but I think like what Kim Missy said, like within reason, if it's on the back, like, or if it's underneath and you can't see it when it's sitting down, or if it's on the face, that's a shame. So like I just have a hat here, and Well, my rule is like if it's at the Goodwill and it still has its ears, buy it. But this has a repair. I haven't listed this, but it has a repair here. But it's such a nice repair.
Yeah.
So I just brought it home. It's sitting up there, but things like that. I figure someone really loved this cat to do such a nice repair, and you just are forthcoming and honest, and it's not that bad. Like it's really not that terrible.
It's so funny that you say that because I do the same thing. I'm like, well, somebody really cared enough to repair it.
They must have been so sad when it happened, and we're like, "I'll fix it. It's okay."
Yeah.
Well, see, you know what? And I think too, a lot of that is like a lot of societal norms have changed though.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, you didn't throw stuff away because it was damaged. You either kept using it,
Right.
damaged, because at the end of the day, you could still use it, or you repaired it because you weren't going to go out and buy something new that you could repair.
It
and
still
I guess
has purpose.
it does.
Well, like Kim said, he saw it was all like someone threw it down the stairs. Like think of how often that person used it and loved it, and every meal or whatever they used it for. So we don't do that.
And I think George had a really good point. I didn't highlight it because we were talking, but you know, and that's what made me want to select this question was, you know, if you find something and it's really rare and you're like, I've never found this before, it is something that is highly collectible and or of significant value, and there is damage, I'll buy it. I have bought it, and it has sold very well because other collectors realize, oh my gosh, I have the opportunity. Now, does it sell if it, for the same price if it was pristine? Of course not. But at the end of the day, if you're a casual collector or you're like a hardcore collector and you really want that piece and you can't find that piece and you've been looking for that piece and it's got a crack in it,
I'll take that piece.
I will too. You know, as a collector, I will. And there are some that just are like, no, I want all of my things to be pristine, and that's okay too.
And that's okay too, right?
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
But that said, I mean, have you guys ever ran into something super rare and have been like, I don't know if I can sell this?
No.
Well, like my mermaids, Michael, you saw the mermaids I got, and you said, "Aren't you keeping those?" And I thought, should I keep these? I'll keep them for 5 days.
Okay.
There you go.
I have mermaids in my bathroom that I will not sell. So, okay, so maybe there are some things that you won't sell. But honestly, if someone gave me a right price, I probably would sell them.
Well, we can talk after. We can talk after.
No, I'm not selling them right now, Michael.
Listen, look, she said. You just said, folks.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I have like a lot of collections, so just like Missy said, it depends like which item it is and if it was the right price. Like whenever I would do what do you call it, vintage markets and vintage shows or festivals, and I had this like really big vintage jewelry display case that I actually found in Pennsylvania, by the way. And I've never seen it anywhere else. Like it's like I guess it's the like 50s or 60s type of jewelry boxes. So whenever I have it at the shows, they always say, "Are you selling the jewelry box?" And I'm like, "No, that's not for sale." But you know, like, but depending what you want to pay for it, I'll think about it. You know, and it comes with the original key too that locks the top. But yeah, it really depends.
Ooh, Miss Pris. That's a good thing.
It is. That was. I don't know that I regret it, but that is certainly something that I will always be like, you just don't find Miss Pris in the wild. You know what I mean? Like you just, especially at a reasonable price or a price that you would buy and be able to still make money on. But she's in a good home. I enjoyed her for a little bit.
But that's the thing. If you see Miss Pris and it's got a chip, I'm buying it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you see a Lefton Bluebird and it's got a little chip, I'm going to buy it.
A
I mean,
mermaid.
for the right price. For the right. I mean, I'm not going to
A
overpay.
mermaid. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And now I know. See, and like you know, Kim, like if you ever see one of your jewelry boxes again, you're gonna snatch it up because you saw that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or what sells good.
Yeah, because they always ask about the display stuff. And I'm like, well, if you want to get it, you can also get the jewelry inside of it. So that's another that's another layer. And they're like, oh, I don't know.
Well, and lucite candles that are missing the wicks.
Yeah.
I'm still
You
gonna
don't burn them anyhow.
Yeah, you're not gonna burn them. You do. Don't. If you think you're going to, think again.
Yes, it is, Sherry. Miss Priss is left in. Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. There are definitely, and I'm not going to lie, there are definitely things that I don't care. You could be like, well, I mean, that's a lie. I mean, if you gave me an exorbitant amount of money, of course I would. I mean, please. But like,
Prixies, all your Prixies, I'll buy. You sell them all.
if somebody like threw down an exorbitant amount of money for all of the pixies, there's two that I would not be able to let go.
Which one?
There is two I would not be able to let go. I do not know the manufacturer, and the reason that I would not be able to let them go is because my grandmother had them. They are not the ones she owned,
But they're
but
like, yeah.
she called them her junkies, and they sat out on a windowsill.
I love that. They're her junkies.
Her junkies, because they were Japan. You know what I mean? Like, so I know, but listen, you know what I'm saying? She was born in 1930,
right?
whatever.
It was
so,
tacky.
you know, and she had the fountain, and you know, so she liked her fancy glass stuff. So those were, but that's what that stuff was back then,
right?
You know what I mean? You would pick it up at the the Woolworth, or what is it, the 5 and dime?
Yeah,
you know, that was weird junkie stuff.
Ruthie is asking, why don't you guys buy, sell Roseville, even the small piece? Because I can't afford to buy it to resell.
No,
it's expensive. Weller and Roseville in the antique malls are quite expensive for resale.
The first time I was at a talk about buying something with a crack, I bought at an auction. It was a Roseville bookend, and it was just one, and it had a crack like in the back or something. And I was like, no one's gonna. I'll buy that, and I did sell it, but it had a crack. But that's the only time I could afford Roseville.
Yeah. If you can get them right, George. If you can get them right,
I don't know, because to me, I don't personally see a lot of interest in Roseville. I don't know. I know that there are people out there that in this chat right now that probably absolutely love and adore and have a tremendous like collection, but it's not something that I really see people being like, why didn't you pick up that Roseville? Why didn't you pick up that Roseville? You know, I never see. Don't start putting in the comments, why didn't you pick up that Roseville? Because it's expensive to buy.
Write in the comments, why didn't you buy that Roseville?
Yeah,
and you have to make sure it's real and not fake.
And Deanna, chances are you're not going to find it in a thrift store, especially Goodwill, because Goodwill will put it on their website. That's why. Or Goodwill will sell it on eBay, because Goodwill is a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
You guys, can I tell you something today? Do you know what I saw today? Did you know? I'm not going to call it a life-size head vase. I almost swore. I kid you not. It wasn't life-size, but it was near life-size. It was in Lewisburg, and I walked in, and I was like, what the? I mean, it was, she had to be like, I can't even.
Really?
Insane. Yes. They had this, and it was up high too. Like, you were not touching it. Don't go near it. It was like this full bouquet of like flower. I was just like, and then I'm looking, $444.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, you don't.
Is there a percent off?
But seriously, some of those small ones go for $200.
Oh yeah.
So the fact that I was like, I didn't even know. Didn't
Do
even
you
know.
think it was like a store display or
Oh,
something?
you know what? That could have been. Like they used it as
I mean,
like
I don't know if they made them as store displays, but with that size, maybe.
I mean, she had her pearl necklace on and her earrings. She was dressed in green. She had like a brown hair. It was insane. I was like, what is going on right now?
Wow.
Had I found that at a cheap price, but see, that's one of those things. I get so wrapped up in I can't believe I found this. It's hard to let it go.
Oh, see, yeah, that's not a problem for me. I'll sell it.
Missy's like, yeah, I found it. Who wants to buy it?
Yeah.
Well, for me, the thrill is in the hunt. The thrill is going out and finding the things. And I mean, the selling part is fun too, but it's like an adult treasure hunt. It's like we're going on an adventure. What are we going to find today?
Yeah, yeah. And you never know. And I think that's the best part of all of this, aside from like, I would say the best part of reselling is the fun, the thrill.
It is. It's a high. It's definitely an adrenaline rush for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. For sure.
Because it was $444 is why I didn't buy it. I mean, I could have, but then I would have been like, that's $440, but I have a giant vase. I mean, you know, if I find her for $40, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Southern Mermaid, I did sell most of them. There was a few that I'm keeping. I will have my big life-size Santa that will be available at the pop-up shop because I'm not shipping him.
You're
But
selling him.
Well, what am I going to do with him? He's not going to come to my house. I don't have room for him.
Shut the mascot.
He will fit in your car. If you live in California and you have a carpool lane, you can put him in the pass. You can put him and strap him in your car. He's like 4 feet tall.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Crystal. Thrifting is definitely a Zen place.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever bought something that was, because I see, you know, this is obviously a big thing and it's always an opportunity, but have you guys ever thought you purchased something and it turned out that wasn't what you thought it was?
Oh yeah, all the time. I think we've all done that. And then you're like, dang it.
Especially, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Especially like when I find something like this is amazing, you know, and you get, because you're so excited and you're in the moment, and then you get home and I'm cleaning it and then I scream in the other, not scream, but I just say, I curse or something in the other room, and Patrick's like, what happened? What's wrong? I'm like, this has a big chip or like a big crack in the back. So it's like, it's not as like pristine or, you know, what it could sell for. Like it could still sell, but yeah, those are the times where like, and you pay up money for it and then you feel bad.
Right. Yeah.
That's why
oh, sorry.
Well, I was going to say, that's why I typically don't spend over $15 for something.
Michael, that soup tureen that you and I looked at, and then I took it. Okay, so I didn't take it from you. You didn't want it, so I took it. And it had because it had the ladle and everything. So I take it home and I washed everything. And so I had it sitting out, and then I was taking the ladle and I was drying it, and all of a sudden the ladle went, and I was like, what is going on? And when it got wet, it had like a dark mark. So like I just literally pulled the thing apart. So now I don't have a ladle.
Oh no.
I still have the tureen.
The pear.
Yeah. But we were very excited because it had the ladle. But I'm glad I did it and not somebody else who said, I washed this and
through that. And I'm like, I can't believe you sold me something that was broken. You tried to rip me off.
That Dagny's a crook.
It wasn't successful.
That Dagny's a crook.
I'm a crook.
Taking advantage. That Dagmar. I was knew there's something funny about her.
And that is the worst when you get it home and you see a crack, or you go to take pictures of it and you put it in your box and you're like, What was what? Why? It's so obvious. It's so obvious.
Your dog is like, pet me.
I know.
Right now.
My heart does too.
Dagny equals the scammer.
Chip on the comment.
Well, and it is though too. That's why when we were talking about doing our videos, and people are like, "Oh, you're making me sick," but sometimes we get really excited when we find certain things, and it is like, "Oh my gosh," you know. And you know, you get those and now listen, you can try. People can comment all they want to that my videos are making them sick because they won't go through because I have that word blocked. You cannot say dizzy or motion or sickness because it will not show up. Because I'm the first to admit, I know. Trust me, I know that I'm everywhere. You don't need to tell me. I already know.
Well, but how are you? I don't know. Like, I think that, again, it depends on what you're there to do. And if you're there to just shop and chill, of course, you're going to be slow and, you know, you're not going to be all over the place. But if you're there to be like, woo, I'm here to have a good time and I want to find treasures, and then you're excited and that comes across, and that's just the kind of video that ends up coming out.
Right.
George, there you go.
George, I love you.
When you see all the dog figurines, Misty, and you're like, this one, that one, we're gonna be taking a lot of dog figurines today. Well, yeah, you should.
99 cents.
Wow.
And I have a video coming out. I have to edit it, but one of my very favorite antique vendors in this antique mall, she sends me a message and say, I just restocked my booth today, and I'm like, I'm going right now. And I literally get up and leave, and I will like buy almost everything she has. It's oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. Everything has been reproduced. Yeah, that is definitely, Mike, that's seriously something that you have to watch out for, because some of that stuff and some of those reproductions are good too.
Yeah, pottery you can really typically tell with the glaze underneath it and the paint on it. Like Lefton is really wonky, and I bought Lefton Bluebird salt and pepper shakers that are totally reproductions, but they were like $3.99 and they're cute, so I got them anyway.
Right.
Yeah, some people like collecting the reproduction stuff though. There's like a whole market for that, you know, because they have their own aesthetic, their own look to them, shall we say? That
there is a look. Yeah, there's a look. Listen, my dad does not like to be in my videos. I try. I have to force him to be in a haul video because he's like, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, just explain what it is. Well, I don't know. And so when I get him in a video, it is literally, that's why I kept a lot of that in there about the Acapulco thing, because that's just kind of our conversation in a nutshell. So I thought it was just kind of a neat thing to leave in, but.
You know how your dad looks like Willie Nelson?
Yes.
And so you had him on one of your things for your video. And for a second I was like, oh, Willie Nelson thrifting? And then I had to like
yeah. He really does.
That's cool.
He has a lot in common with Willie Nelson.
So new items become new collections. When do you decide to sell new items? Unlike the other resellers.
Items become new collections.
I feel like I understand most of it if I were to leave off unlike the other resellers. When a new item becomes a new collection, when do you decide to sell new items? I feel like I understand this question and my brain is not working.
Like when you've had it a while and you've enjoyed it and you're like, it's time to move on. So like I had a head vase that I got at an auction and I had it for a year and then I was like, I'm done. Someone else can have it. So.
Well, like, and if you're talking about like new items, like new like reproductions or that kind of thing, I most of the time I don't buy those, but I bought these birds because they're pretty cute. But like new items, like new in package items, those are the kinds of things that I put on eBay. I don't tend to bring them to my live sales because I'm just wanting to do a vintage live sale. But the new things, I will list those on eBay. I don't know if that's what she meant too. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because if it's something newer, I usually put, like, I have a personal, like, Poshmark account, and I do have Mercari stuff and eBay. So I think that's what they're talking about.
Well, I guess we answered it both ways.
Yeah.
I want to know how long, Misty and Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess technically me too.
How long after you started searching did you decide to start? Well, for me, I mean, I've been selling for like over 10 years, but then it's funny because during the pandemic, that's when I actually found Missy and everyone through watching their live sales. I'm like, oh, what, and live chats and stuff. And then I wanted to, I mean, before I was very hesitant. And then, of course, Patrick was like, I really think you should do it. Like, like there's more people, there's a lot of people in this YouTube community that, loves the same things that I do, from reselling to collecting antiques. So, and I mean, it took me a while to show my face first. So, he encouraged me to, just to start by showing like my owl collection, just like small things here and there. And then I finally just like dove in, and I'm still new to this, but
you didn't show your face for a very long time.
I remember she was like, I'm fine. Oh, you did it on Instagram, didn't you?
Well, Instagram, I mean, you could obviously, I have like pictures of my face, but like people who don't have Instagram and just knew me on YouTube, they're always like, when are we going to see your face? I'm like, I'm not ready yet. Like I was still kind of hesitant. Because it takes a lot, just to be in front of the camera. And plus, like, I grew up, my dad would do like photography on the side. So whenever we had like holiday events and we'd be standing in front of the Christmas tree, he'd always like position us like a certain way. So I hated like being in front of the camera. Like I hate posing, like, or just doing something. But then I finally got like a little more chill and relaxed in front of the camera. And I still get nervous when I do my live sales and even just chatting right now, but I learned to just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I hate being in front of the camera too, Kim.
Yeah. Like my dad would be like, hold the gift like this. I'm like, can't I just be natural, please? Yeah. And then he would do it for our Christmas cards, because he would like print out like those like old like long photographs that would say like Happy Holidays at the top. And like I would wear my sister and my brother, they would say, wear your school uniforms. This is supposed to show like, what grade we're in, and we're holding like a present.
So natural.
Adorable.
I know.
I'm so glad that you did, but aren't you so happy that you just took that leap of faith and you just did it? And it does get easier, doesn't it? It gets easy. Hear that, Dagny? It gets easier.
Yeah, it definitely gets easier. I mean, I had to start out small, a little bit, just inch the way in, just showing my hands first. and then I started like, okay, I finally just sucked it up and just I did film like privately in my office. I'm like, Patrick, I can't have you in the room. Like I'm gonna be too, even though like I know him for so many years, I just can't have anyone around me, like, so I can just feel like I'm just talking to myself,
That gets easier too. Because you're just like, it just is weird. You're just like, quit looking at me, but it does get easier. And it's just nice that it does get easier. And I think that's encouraging for people that are like, well, I want to do a YouTube channel. And I mean, and it takes a lot of work. Just because you're creating content doesn't mean that it's going to get seen by a lot of people. I mean, you have to do the social media thing, advertising yourself on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and being involved in the community, showing up in chats, and and getting your name out there. It all goes along with it. And it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time.
Okay, I guess okay, let me try to. So Barbara's, poop, I lost it. No, okay, no, darn. Barbara, where were you, girl? Barbara, a lot
Barbara
of us
Mbunda.
folks
I love
share
saying
the
her
same
name.
type.
Barbara Mbunda. Sorry, I got lost there for a minute. I like saying
I
her name.
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that kind of goes back to the initial thing, though, I guess, about, you know, do you guys buy with an aesthetic in mind? Because for me, I think, like, if you were to take a picture of, like, what Misty's selling every week, and then take a picture of what Kim is selling every week, and a picture of Dagny and of mine and of various people, it's not necessarily an item, but somehow there's, like, an aesthetic. Does that make sense? So if you would say, like, I bought a bluebird today, right?
Mhm.
But when you say bluebird, what are you thinking? Leo Ward. But see, that's not what I bought. I didn't buy a Leo Ward bluebird. I did buy a bluebird, and if you say bluebird, then some people automatically think of the lefton.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things. It's not a Lefton or a Leo Ward. It's a bluebird somehow that people gravitate towards. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Ron Ray, because Ron Ray did bluebirds too.
Oh, yeah.
But
Poor old Ron always gets forgotten.
there was another question and I can't find it. But somebody was asking about Ray Dunn. To my knowledge, I mean, I know who he is, or
She.
No, you
do you guys sell Ray Dunn?
RAE. Oh, you don't? No. Do you sell like any modern stuff like that? No.
No, right. I don't like cookie cutter things. Like I don't like things that you can buy at Home Goods or at, I just, that's just not my style. But a lot of people do like the farmhouse and that whole simplistic aesthetic. And it was just a fad. I think that it was a big fad, and then it's kind of weighing down. But now some of them, the earlier ones, can be quite valuable. I think that there's a certain mark, like if it's marked a certain way.
Like his original stuff.
Yeah, the older stuff. But I mean, it's so mass produced now that I think the newer stuff is just kind of overplayed. But there are some of them, the earlier pieces that I think can still do quite well, and there's still collector's market for them.
It's just, yes, Jamie. Or in Yvonne, it's like a farmhouse. It's cream, typically with black script lettering, like life, love, enjoy. You know that.
Live, laugh, love, love, laugh, live.
Or my favorite ones are the ones that say live simply, but you're not living simply because you have all this stuff. So you're not being simple. You're filling your house full of stuff that reminds you that.
Yeah.
But you have to go buy more.
Right.
Jocelyn said
it has magenta on it.
And I think sometimes the Halloween ones too, like there are certain ones that can do better. But I mean, it's just kind of, we could get into the whole Magnolia stuff too. What's her name? Joanna Gaines. Don't get Jamie. That's Jamie Mid-Century Wasted's trigger word. It's Joanna Gaines.
Well, I don't know. I like the farmhouse aesthetic. I think that the farmhouse aesthetic overall lends itself very well to the displayability of like jadeite, Scotch tape tins. I even think that you could put in Art Nouveau. Now, if you're a mid-century modern fan, no, farmhouse is not really going to be, but I did see her do a farmhouse mid-century, and it was gorgeous. I mean, it really truly was. So everybody's like, no. No.
Yeah, if you are a mid-century modern person, you're not, you really, the farmhouse aesthetic is just not for you. But everybody has different tastes, and that's okay. We are all different. We all like different things. We all have different aesthetics, and that's what makes it great.
Oh, geez, y'all are jumping on me. There you go, Carrie. DIY farmhouse is one thing, but she just don't want the Target farmhouse aesthetic. I hear you. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Vinny. So
I would like a farmhouse, but filled with all made in Japan left-in pieces.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. Joanna, she has ripped out some really cool mid-century modern fixtures and things, and have replaced them with farmhouse things. But she's working for a client, and a client wanted that done, and that's you got to do what your client wants.
I mean, truthfully, I don't know that I would want a pink bathtub. As much as I would appreciate it for what it is, I don't know that I would really want to bathe in a pink bathtub. I don't know.
Oh, I would.
I would. Because I love pink. It depends what kind of tub it is.
I want a satin glass bathtub, though. I've discussed this several times. Satin glass bathtub. Could you imagine?
Wow.
How wonderful.
What about a brown bathtub? Because that was very popular back in the day too. You want to bathe in a brown bathtub, but it's mid-century.
With carpet around it.
Oh my gosh, those are the worst.
That's disgusting.
Okay. No poo-poo bathroom. And no carpet. Oh gosh, carpet. I couldn't imagine. I live in a house full of men. I could not imagine carpet around in my bathroom.
Yes, pink was 50s, you're right. I would go with a clawfoot too, yes.
Me too.
Yeah. Moist toilet carpet.
Oh, gross. That's great.
You would get out of a satin glass bathtub very carefully. You would need handles and a ladder, possibly.
Well, I just have to say, because we are getting close to the end here, that I love how the end of this conversation has ended up. We're talking about
and pee
and carpet, nasty, moist carpet in the bathroom. I'm really glad that we can all come together and agree on one thing.
Listen, if 1973's original countertop cabinets and backsplash come in style, I'm all set, because that's what my kitchen currently has. The thing we had to do in our backyard. We're just waiting. Waiting for it to come back inside.
Oh my gosh, I remember those.
But you can take those off and put them in the washer and the dryer. The carpet, though, oh no, what about the pad around the toilet?
Oh, yeah.
It would match the toilet seat, and then the mat that you would put.
A koozie, a toilet cozy.
Yes. Yeah. Ew, no, Daniel, I could never.
Oh no.
Oh no. Let me, please do not do that. I've done that. Do not take your bathroom into your bathroom. Don't aim it towards the ceiling. Don't. Oh, Michael. I'm serious. You'll be in there going, how in the world?
That's good aim.
The ceiling. Just saying.
No comment. No comment. No comment.
My cheeks hurt.
Yeah, and Yvonne, definitely don't take it into a hotel.
Oh.
Time for a shower, Ruthie. In a satin glass bathtub.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jamie did it. She did it. She took it in there.
Right now?
Nope, she's done it before.
Oh. Well, you know what? I mean, I guess there is something to be said about it. If you want to make sure that the bathroom is clean, that would be a good way to make sure it's cleaned. No, 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 no. Okay, so on that note, now that we have delved into this time of night, it's obviously getting very late. People are getting a little punchy. We're talking about urine. I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying?
George.
But so before we go, Kim, when is going to be your next sale?
My next YouTube live sale is tomorrow. It's every Tuesday at 6 p.m. But tomorrow I'll be doing a joint live sale with Christine from Side Street Market. And then also Katie from Vintage and Vinyl next week, the last Tuesday of June. And I'm also planning on doing Instagram story sales. So just be on the lookout for that as well. So lots of new things coming up besides my Etsy and eBay shop. You know, just trying to venture out everywhere.
And just to repeat, Kim is doing an Instagram story sale. So that means you have to be following her, and she's going to put it in the stories, not in her main feed. So that way it doesn't clog up her. She doesn't have to go back and delete things. It'll automatically delete for her.
Okay.
Right.
Jocelyn, it took my video today 6 hours to process.
Oh my gosh.
6 hours.
He filmed it in 4K though.
I did. No, I filmed it in ultra high def. You can watch this video on like a movie screen in 4K. It was ridiculous. I didn't even know. Who knew that a phone could do that? But a phone can. This one can. So tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Oh My Vintage. Make sure that you guys are there. Dagny, who knows what the future will hold, huh?
That's right. Something in Arkansas, hopefully.
Something, and everybody keep your fingers crossed. Something look out, world. Yeah, and thank you everybody for coming. We have, oh, look.
Oh.
She's got a camera in every color, folks.
I know, she does.
She does.
And make sure, whose channel are we on tomorrow, Misty?
Michelle's.
Tomorrow you can catch Misty and I on Michelle Comfy Cozy Living on YouTube at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and the three of us will be selling there. And then Wednesday,
I have a live sale at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with Jamie from Mid-Century Wasted. She's going to be on my channel. We'll be selling 20 items each.
Y'all better be sitting down for that one.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
You know it is. And then I guess after that, my next sale I will be back selling on Sunday, but I'm not going to be selling on YouTube. Oh no. I'm going to be selling live on Instagram with Junk Drunk Mantiques on his Instagram. I will make sure that I go ahead and put it up on the YouTube community page and make sure that I give you all a direct link to his Instagram so that you can follow along with us. If it's not done by 10:30, I guess I'm skipping tonight. Well, everybody, thank you so much, ladies, for agreeing to do this. It really was a pleasure. I really do appreciate it. Misty, honey, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
We'll be back on my channel next Monday night. We will be taking a break in July. We will be having a week off in July. We'll announce that later on. I'm going to go on vacation. And so we just decided to take the week off. But yeah, it's going to be great. Stay tuned.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate everybody showing up tonight. We hope that you all have a great night, and we'll see you all again soon, one way or the other.
Bye.
Bye, guys. And we're ending it. And no, we're not. We're still live.